Hey, Stonewall, Philly. So, class is going to begin at 10:30 this morning. We have about 7 minutes. Feel free to get yourself situated and comment. Let me know if the sound is working, if you can see me okay, and tell me something about yourself. And I'm going to see if I can. So you might consider, for your practice today, having a pillow. And any kind of pillow will work. Something like this. You could put that on your mat. I have my little nephew Huey joining us today. I'm babysitting him. Hey, Sandy. So again, for those just joining in, class is going to begin at 10:30, and you might need a pillow. So get a pillow, or if you have blocks, blocks would be ideal. You could use a big pillow. Can you guys hear me okay? Is that Mark? Hey, Mark. Okay, we have about 5 more minutes until we begin. If you like having music, you are welcome to play some. I'm not a huge advocate for music during a yoga class. Just for me, I like the quiet time, so I won't be playing music, but you definitely can if that's something you like. Hey, Mindy. I'm not getting any comments, so I don't know if you guys can hear me or not. Maybe there's a lag. I'm hoping that Huey, the Frenchie, will be a good boy and stay on the couch the whole time. All right, everybody, 2 more minutes. If you're tuning in with us right now and you haven't heard yet, you can get a pillow off of your couch, or you can use a bedroom pillow or a couple of yoga blocks for practice today. We'll get started in 2 minutes. See if I can. So just one more thing. Hey, good morning, everybody. All right, we have a few more people just hopping on right now, so go ahead and get yourself a pillow or a few yoga blocks. And we'll get started in about 1 minute. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. I think there's a couple people messaging me about being able to chat. I don't know what's going on with the chat window, but I'm hoping that you can hear me. I'm sure I'll get a text from somebody with Stonewall if there's an issue. Okay, well, I'm going to begin. So you can start your practice today sitting on a blanket or a pillow. You can have your legs comfortably crossed. And take your hands to face down on top of your knees. Close your eyes. In an action as simple as closing the eyes, you're invited to turn your attention inwards to shift your perspective from the outside world. And to check in with what's going on the inside. And without any judgment, can you simply notice, does the inside, your inner world, feel like it's kind of closed off or tight in any areas? You might also notice if it feels really open and expansive. So something that we're constantly pulled back to in the yoga practice is this idea that we can create space from within and expand it outwards. We could apply that physically to a lot of the yoga poses which require a sense of support and space from the inside. But we could also apply that off of the mat, where we're really just constantly being asked to expand our capacity to embrace all beings and all things with non-judgment and loving compassion. So how can this formal hour-long yoga practice really become a catalyst to create more space in our hearts, that we might embrace all of the people in the world, and especially all of the suffering that's happening in the world right now. And we can just hold it in our loving awareness while we practice. So So in my opinion, one of the most effective ways of experiencing this sense of fullness and space creating from the inside is by using the breath. And so we're going to move right into some breathing now. So this is where you can take your pillow and you can put that on the mat, and you're going to lie back just nice and easy over this. You can cross your legs, pretzel style. You can also have your legs straight. That works better for you. And just go ahead and stay there for a moment and close your eyes. Just want to make sure everything's working here. Okay. So this pose is called heart bench. Feel just enough expansion across your rib cage. Take a full breath and breathe into that space. Right across the front of the ribs, under the armpits, the bottom of the rib cage, and even into the waistline and the belly and the lower back. And you can inhale through your nose. Now hold it for a couple beats. When you hold the inhale, imagine like it was getting more expansive from the inside. And then exhale through your mouth. Inhale through the nose. 3-dimensional expansion. Hold the inhale and try to feel even more expansion happening. And exhale. One more time. Full breath in through the nose, expanding bottom, middle, top. Hold for a few beats, accommodate the space, and exhale through the mouth. Now we'll take a few more breaths in and out through the nose. You inhale, and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And one more time, breathing in. And out. Good. So you can slowly roll over to your side and remove the pillow. And then lie straight down on your back again. Now your knees can be bent and your feet can be flat. Press straight down through the center of your heels and energetically pull the heels in towards your glutes. Now when you inhale, take the arms straight up and overhead and lift your hips as well. On the exhale, lower down, followed by the arms. Then heel toe your feet a little bit to the right of center. And again, root down, inhale. Create space on the inside, like the breath is creating the grid of the posture. And exhale, lower down. Heel toe the feet through the center and over to the left. Inhale, root down, lift up. Should feel a little bit crooked there. And exhale, lower down. Bring the feet back to the middle, center the body. And one more time, press down, tuck the tail, inhale and lift up. And exhale, lower down. Now take your right ankle and cross it over the top of your left thigh. This might be enough for you. If you want a little bit more, you could take your right hand to the right thigh and press it outwards. Or even more, pick up your left foot and wrap one hand under each thigh. You're going for some sensation in the outer right hip. Now find the sensation and send your breath to that place. And imagine like the breath was massaging the space and of the sensation, creating more space in the area. So now you're going to take your left hand around your right foot Your right hand is near the left knee, just enough that you can straighten your left leg forward. Then you're going to center your right leg, hook your hands under the thigh, and press your heel upwards. So this is not about pulling your leg closer to your face. Instead, press your leg into the arms so that, if you can see, the elbows straighten. And the foot is flexed. Feel free to point and flex the foot a few times. And you can circle the ankle around. And then reverse the circle. Hold the flex so the toes are pulling down. Keep pressing up through the heel. Take a big breath in. And on the exhale, bring the lower abdominals down and in towards the spine and start to curl up. You're not yanking on the leg. In fact, the leg is pressing back into your hands. And slowly lower down. Let's do that 2 more times. Exhale, curl it up. Inhale down. Exhale. And inhale. Now lift the arms up. Try to imprint your lower back into the floor and slowly, slowly reach forward and down through the heel. Forward and down, forward and down. Good. Bend both knees into the chest and rock from side to side. Now place your feet flat. Cross your left ankle over the right thigh. Pick up the right foot and hook one hand under each thigh. And breathe. You're directing the breath into where you feel the stretch. Now brace your crossed foot so you have room to straighten your right leg forward. Center your left leg and hook the hands under the thigh. And then press vertical. Not in towards your head where you start to kind of pull into your lower back, but press your arms forward. And flex and point the left foot. Circle the ankle around a few times. And reverse it. Then hold the flex. Full breath in. Lower abs go down and in towards the spine. So this is all coming from the center of your body, the core. And you walk your hands up. And you slowly walk your hands down. Again, exhale. Walk your hands up. Just do what you can do. Inhale, walk your hands down. Last time, exhale. And inhale. Now reach the arms up. Take your left heel and reach it forward, 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 and down. Good. Now bend both of your elbows and place your hands under your head. Slide your left foot to the left corner of your mat and cross the right ankle over top. Then take your upper body and slant it to the left, like the shape of a banana. Keep your right hip really heavy and practice deep breathing into the rib cage, right where you're feeling the stretch down the side of your body. You could actually take your left hand and place it on the ribs so you have some like tactile feedback. Breathe into the hand and create space from the inside. Then place your hands under the head. Bring it back to the center. Take your right ankle to the right corner of the mat. Cross the left ankle over the right and take the upper body over to the right. Then take your right hand and place it over the left rib cage. Breathe into the hand. Hands under the head, bring it back to the center. Bend both of your knees. And now pick your feet up. Point your feet and squeeze your knees together. The lower back is rooting into the ground. If this is too challenging for you, continue this movement with your feet on the floor. Take your knees and bring them about 1/4 of the way to the left and look to the right. Hold and breathe. You're going to start to feel the obliques warming up. Bring it to the middle. And then to the other side. In yoga, this is called revolved stomach pose or Jatara Parivartanasana. Keep your shoulders rooted. And bring it to the center. Try it one more time. A little bit to the left. If you wanted more of a challenge and there's no strain in the back, you could try to straighten the legs. Center and other side. And bring it to the center. Now finally, you can keep your hands under the head, reach your legs up, point your feet. Turn your toes out and your heels in. Your feet are still pointed. Keep a deep imprint in the lower back, and then just make a small corkscrew movement. Just like you were tracing something about the size of a quarter on the ceiling, and reverse the circle. Hold it in the middle. Last thing here, reach your arms up, big breath in, and exhale. Try to touch. Pulse 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug your knees in and rock your way up to seated. Okay. Swivel yourself around, and we're ready for hands and knees. You can take your hands here and spread your fingers wide. Lift your left wrist so you start to stretch the fingers. Then take the left hand and turn it out to the left and around so the fingers are pointing towards your left knee. Lean slightly back until you feel a stretch in the front of the wrist. Then make a small circle. And reverse the circle. Turn the left fingers forward. Flip up the right wrist, feeling a stretch for the fingers. And then turn the right hand out to the right and around till the fingers are pointing to the right knee. Lean slightly back until you feel a stretch going down the forearm extensors. And a small circle. And reverse. Then point the fingers forward. Walk your hands about 2 to 3 handprints further forward, depending on how long your torso is. You might need to walk your knees as well. And you're going to reach your hips back. The ears are between the upper arms. Be mindful that the chest doesn't collapse down. Instead, use your inhale, and if you were to create space on the inside of your body, you'd probably find that you have a stronger grid of space from inside when you're holding yourself in the pose rather than collapsing onto your own chest. Thus bolstering more space, and especially here in what's called heart melting or heart opening pose, we can expand the capacity, the heart qualities, which is love, compassion. Good. Come forward to your hands and your knees. The toes are curled under, and you can lift up to your first downward facing dog. Capital letter A shape. And keep the ears between the upper arms. Feel free to pedal through the heels a little bit. Bend and stretch the elbows. Nod the head yes and shake the head no. Then when you inhale, you're going to shoot forward to a plank position. Lift everything in and up. Lower the knees lightly down and press back towards a child's pose, but keep your hands where they are. And then shift forward to your hands and your knees and tuck your tailbone and round your body like the chin was going into the chest. It's called cat spine. Then when you inhale, arch your lower back, bring your chest forward and up, come onto the fingertips, so you get a little more into the heart space there, and open the throat as well. And then plant your palms down and press it back to downward facing dog. Five full breaths. Try not to collapse on yourself. Keep the sense of spaciousness on the inside. Plank pose, inhale. Press the floor away. Lower the knees lightly down. Press your hips towards the heels. Inhale, shoot forward to hands and knees and round into cat spine. Tuck the tail, tuck the chin. Now point your right foot and bring your right knee in towards the nose. Hold and breathe. On the next inhale, extend the right leg back and lift up. You can move onto the fingertips. Open the chest. Bring it back to neutral. Now when you exhale, tuck your tailbone and tuck your chin and hover your left knee in. Press the floor away from you. Feel a deep connection with the abdominal corset. 3, 2, and on the inhale, extend your leg back and lift the chest up. Lower the knee down. Plant your palms, tuck the toes under, and come back to downward facing dog. So as we move through progressions, you're always welcome to do what we did right beforehand. In this case, it'll be keeping your knees on the ground. You can take your right leg and lift it up. Now curl the knee into the nose and hold it. Press the floor so deeply away from you. That requires tone, lift, and space, not collapsing. And then step your right foot forward. Touch your left knee straight down and bring both hands to the top of the right thigh. You're now vertical, shoulders, hips, and bottom back knee. Hug your legs in towards the midline and root down through the legs. Then lengthen up like you were pulling up a zipper through the midline of your body, the spine. You can inhale and take your arms up and overhead. On the exhale, open your arms out to cactus. Full breath in, point your elbows forward and almost like you were going to raise the roof. Feel a little bit of a lift to the chest. Then you're going to pull the arms towards each other. Cross your left arm on top of the right arm and wind your hands to eagle arms. Now bring the sitting bones back and hinge forward to the inside of your right thigh. Keep the forearms parallel with the floor. The legs are still driving towards each other and the crown of the head is lengthening forward. You're trying to create space in the spine here. Hold and breathe. On the inhale, upright the spine, unwind the arms and open your chest. Then when you exhale, you can take your hands to prayer pose and twist the upper left arm over the top of the right thigh, turning your chest and looking over the right shoulder. Inhale, come up to vertical, lower your hands down. Pick up your back knee and straighten the right leg. You can put your hands on blocks here if you have them. 5 breaths. Instead of collapsing into the sensation, come out of it and create space. Bend into the front knee and step your right leg back. For those of you who practice more of a flow or vinyasa style, you could have the option here to move through a vinyasa. My preferred method is to practice lowering past a chaturanga through a 5 count. So that's what I'll demonstrate here. So you bend the elbows straight back. You can always lower the knees. 5, 4, pelvis, chest, forehead landing at the same time. 2, 1. Flip the tops of the feet, press the pelvis down, lengthen up, and then press back to downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Take your time and float your left leg high. Curl the knee in towards the nose. If you practice Uddiyana Bandha, that's what you can engage here. Step your left foot forward. Touch the right knee down. And bring both hands to the top of the left thigh. Come to vertical. The legs draw in towards each other. The tailbone roots down and you zip up through the midline. Bring the arms up over the ears. Inhale. Exhale, cactus arms. Elbows forward, raise the roof, lift the chest. Bring your arms in towards each other. Feel a squeeze of the chest. Cross the right arm over the left arm. Full breath in. Take the sitting bones back. Hinge forward so the spine is now parallel with the top of your left thigh. Forearms are parallel with the floor. Don't try to reach your fingers to the ground. On the inhale, come up to vertical. You can open your arms out to the sides. Exhale, twist the right arm over the left thigh. You could modify with something like this. Right? Inhale to the center. Lower your hands to the floor. Lift up your right knee. Straighten the left leg. Inhale. Spine is long. Create space around the pose rather than collapsing into the stretch. Okay, you can plant your hands down and step it back in the option of moving through a vinyasa of your choice. And meeting back in downward dog or resting with your knees on the ground in child's pose. 5 breaths. Again, the right leg will float high. Step the right foot forward. Now, we'll progress by keeping the back knee lifted. If it's hard for your balance, keep your left knee to the floor. Inhale, arms lift up. As much as you bend into the right knee, press through the back heel. So you actually did this pose earlier when you were on your back. Exhale, cactus arms. Now hook your thumbs into your armpits and give yourself a little bit of a lift in the chest. Then bring the arms out in front. Cross the left arm on top into eagle style. Hinge forward. Make the forearms parallel. Keep rooting through the back heel. Inhale, vertical the spine. Open the arms out to the sides. Exhale, hands to prayer and twist the upper left arm over the right thigh. You could always modify with your left hand on the floor. Now lower your hands to the ground. Crawl your fingers forward onto the floor or blocks and float your left leg up. Now you can open your hip so that your hip is more open instead of closed to the ground. Lower the left foot down by the right foot, bend both of your knees, and bring your arms out in front of you to chair pose. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, keep breathing. 4, keep space around the shape. 3, 2, on the exhale, fold forward over the legs. Take your hands behind your shins and press. Inhale, come all the way up through standing. Lift the arms and exhale your hands together. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, bend and fold forward. Halfway up, step the left leg back. Plank pose, inhale. Exhale, optional vinyasa. Downward dog or child's pose. Float the left leg high. Exhale, bring the knee in, step the left foot forward. Option to lower your back knee down. Lift up. Bend into the front knee as much as you press through the back heel. Exhale the elbows out to the sides. Hook your thumbs under the armpits. Lift your chest up. Create some space from the back of the heart forward. Then bring the arms out in front. Cross the right arm on top into eagle arms. Hinge forward so the forearms are parallel. Inhale, vertical. Open the arms out to the side. Exhale, right hand to the floor and twist. Option to bring the hands into a prayer pose. Lower the hands down. Inhale, straighten the left leg. Keep space around the pose instead of collapsing into it. Walk your hands forward, lift your right leg, and you can open your right hip here. Lower your right foot next to the left. Bend both knees and sweep your arms out in front of you for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1, fold forward, bring your hands under behind the shins. All the way up, inhale. Hands together, exhale. Inhale, arms up. You want to try to keep the breath full and smooth. Even when you start to feel the heart beating faster, it's how you train the nervous system. How do you stay calm as the body enters? Really, it's entering a sympathetic state. Left leg back. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Right leg floats high. Right foot steps forward. Now spin your left heel to the side and open out to warrior two shape. Now the hips are in an open position, less square than they were earlier. You can face your palms up, and on the inhale, press your right leg straight and palms together. And exhale, bend. Inhale, press to straight. Exhale, bend. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Now straighten your right leg, hands together, turn your right toes in, and bring your arms in front of you. Take your arms out in front, left arm on top of right, and you're returning to eagle arms. Now put a soft bend in your knees, hinge forward and fold. Again, you're working the forearms to the floor, not the baby fingers to the floor. That doesn't feel too good on the shoulders. If you feel that you have more space, you could start taking your legs wider. Now, put a small bend and sit upright. Turn your right toes out to the right and adjust your left foot slightly forward so you're in more of a squared position. We move back so you can see. Now, tip onto the front leg. Establish a focal point with your eyes. And then you're going to lift up into a balancing warrior 3 in eagle arms. Keep a small bend in the right knee so there's space there. Don't collapse onto the pose. Now, can you bring your left knee in and up, just like you did earlier? Bend your right knee and cross your left foot on top. Left arm on top, left foot on top, in this variation of eagle pose. The lower you sit, the easier it is to balance. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, fold over the legs. Halfway up, inhale. Step the left leg back. Right leg back. Optional vinyasa. Lay down, honey. Exhale, downward dog. 5 breaths. Left leg floats up. Step the left foot forward. Stand up tall. Spin your right heel down, opening the hips into a warrior 2 shape. Flip the palms up. Inhale, straighten the leg. Hands together, exhale, bend. Inhale. Exhale. One more time, inhale. Turn your left toes in. Take your right arm on top of your left arm in eagle pose. Small bend of the knees, hinge forward and fold. Working the forearms towards the floor, not the baby fingers. Think of working the elbows to the floor and create that space in the back of your heart, right between the shoulder blades. Abs in, pelvic floor is toning. On the inhale, sit up tall. Now, turn your right toes in and your left toes forward. As you prepare for warrior 3 with eagle arms, you can tip forward, spring up, keep the gaze focused, and lengthen. Now bring the right knee in and up. Keep your gaze steady. Cross the right ankle over. And release. Arms up. Inhale. And fold forward. Exhale. Keep your hips over the ankles. Inhale, halfway up. Step the right leg back, followed by the left leg, and option to move through one more vinyasa. Five breaths. Keep the space. Lower the knees down and press to child's pose. You can sweep your arms down by your heels. Rest your forehead on the mat. Take a few exhales through your mouth. Now tone your abs in and up. And slowly roll up. So you have the option of doing child's pose again, or you can move into what's called yoga mudra, or yoga mudrasana, where you clasp the fingers behind your back. You also hold on to like a rolled up towel, or if you have a yoga strap, you could use it. And find some space in the front. You come forward and you place your forehead down and you lift your arms. Now, if you have a healthy neck, like there's no bulging or herniated discs or osteoporosis or other complications, you could consider rolling to the center of the crown of the head into the Sahasrara Marma chakra. Otherwise, stay on the forehead with your hips down. Slowly come back up. And just feel when you release the hands, they'll float around. It's kind of a cool experience of what we would call prana in yoga. Can we lay down, honey? It's okay. Okay. Now bring your arms out in front of you and press your hips forward. Curl the toes under here. Retract your shoulder blades and bring your hands to your lower back. You could have your fingers pointing up. It's much more of a stretch for the wrists, which you could do. Hips reach forward and chest goes up for Ustrasana, camel pose. Now you could collapse here, but instead create space. Remember when you had your thumbs in your armpits earlier? Use the breath to bolster space on the inside and you're able to power open more. Sit up tall. Well done. So you could try that variation again. If that felt pretty good for you, you're welcome to work to your heels. On the inhale, from the inside, expand, open. Coming upright. And if you want one more progression, you could flatten your feet. So there's a couple extra inches that you have there. And lift. And sit down. Very well done. Now you can take your hips and slide them to the right. Take your left leg and swing it in front. So your knees are kind of double stacked in Gomukhasana or cow face pose. Sitting up on a blanket here can actually be really helpful. So I'm going to do that. And now you can stay here or try the arm variation. Let's just do opposite arm on top. So right arm goes on top, left arm on bottom. You're going to turn your left thumb down and reach your hand up your back. Take your right hand down the back. You could hold on to a crease in your shirt or a yoga strap or a towel as well. Option to remain here. If you can keep your hips rooted on the floor or the pillow, you could hinge forward. You can always remove the arms and just bring your arms out in front of you if the arms aren't working for you today. Okay, so now it's time for party tricks. This will work if your left leg is on top, at least from the way I'm doing it. Oh, and I actually think Facebook Live mirrors me, so that's going to be even more confusing. Well, my left leg is on top, so I'm going to bring my hands to the right. Then if you keep your feet where they are, you just start to pivot around, and you will actually end up with the other leg on top. So now the right leg is on top. Sit up tall and breathe. Now if you're going into the arm variation, your left arm will be on top and your right arm on bottom. Sit up tall. Breathe in and hinge forward and fold. Inhale, sit up tall. You can unwind. Straighten both legs out in front of you. Using the blanket here is still a good, or a pillow is still a good choice. Lay down, honey. Flex the feet, lift the arms. Hinge forward and fold. You want the lower back to be not super rounded. So you don't want to look like this. If you feel that this is you right now, you want to bend your knees. And notice how much space that creates for you to keep a long spine. And then gradually you can practice moving into more extension in the knees. Breathing in, you can sit up tall. Take your hands behind you. Again, the fingers can point away or inwards. Bend your knees to start and lift your hips up into Purvottanasana modification. Lower the hips down. Option to try that again with straight legs. Full reverse plank. Then reach your hips towards your heels. And lower down. Hug both of your knees into your chest. Bring your left hand to your right knee. Cross your legs to the left. Reach the right arm out to the right and look right. Bring it up to the center and switch sides. Right hand to the left knee. Look left. And inhale to the center. Now with your knees bent and your feet flat, you're going to pick your hips up and just drop them down kind of with a lot of force. And that is a nice way to kind of loosen up the lower back again. Then straighten the legs forward and face your palms up. Draw the shoulder blades gently together, just enough. Close your eyes. And turn your gaze in towards the center of your heart, even though the eyes are closed. Where the lungs and the heart live, right in the thoracic cavity, the chest. And when you inhale, observe with the gaze the expansive qualities of the heart. Each inhale is an opportunity to expand from the inside out, to move past the things that keep us closed off from fully engaging and being present with the world. Our own stories, our own beliefs, the things that we're still angry about, the hurt that we may still be harboring from years and years ago. Even if it's just for now, what would it be like to let the breath expand beyond those boundaries? Open yourself up to your own limitlessness, your capacity to be and to love. Couple moments of quiet. You're welcome to stay here for as long as you like. Really give yourself the gift of rest if that's what you need right now. When you feel complete, you're welcome to roll over to your side and slowly make your way up to seated. With your hands together in a final moment of acknowledgement and gratitude that you could continue the rest of the day leading with your heart open and expansive, with space, with room to embrace all beings and all things, with non-judgment and loving kindness. Thank you so much for practicing today with Stonewall. Please, if you feel inclined, you can donate to Stonewall. The link is in this video. And if you'd like to learn more about me, you're welcome to add me on Facebook or visit my website, MatthewMitlas.com. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti is peace, peace, peace. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Namaste. And thank you, Huey, for being such a good boy this whole time.